What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday and welcome to another live episode. We are coming to you with the bonus episode because we said we weren't going to come back on until Friday, but we're here. We're coming back because there's just a little piece of news floating around the internet that we thought we would comment on and just give you a quick update on Bitcoin and what's happening as we're stealthily eyeing that 3-day close. Today is another important day. Sunday will be another important day. And in the meantime, we want to keep you updated on all the news and everything that's happening. Now, the title of this stream is, did Jane Street break, the market maker company, did they break crypto? And what does this mean for Bitcoin price? Is this the reason we're in a bear market? Is this the reason we dump every day at 10 a.m., just like the allegations state? I don't know if you guys haven't heard about that. I'll go over that now so you'll get a brief rundown. Or is this just more of a cyclical market, right? Or is this more just of the 4-year cycle replaying itself over and over again with different FUD at the bottom? Now, there's a lot of claims also about Binance and that influencers have been paid to coordinate FUD against Binance and blame Binance for all the market manipulation. Somebody must be to blame for that manipulation, right? Well, in this show, we're going to go over our thoughts on the Jane Street saga. The fact of the matter is they are being sued for market manipulation, okay? But is that the reason why Bitcoin's not at 150K right now or 200K taking off? Or is it just that actually the 4-year cycle is continuing to play out and the general broader monetary cycle is cyclical, right? And this all depends on liquidity. So we're going to go over some fun news, a little bit of conspiracy, and just keep you guys informed on what's going on and what we are seeing right now with Bitcoin. And that's maybe going to help you get a better picture as to what to do next yourself, right? You've got to have a strategy, you got to have that in place, and you've got to stick to it. So it's this kind of news, it's important to know what's going on, but then the main news of today is what is happening with Bitcoin and what should we be prepared for as we watch for that Sunday close. And we'll go over that with Rob now, but I'm just going to pull this up so you guys can see what's happening. And first of all, before I get into anything, guys, happy Thursday. I hope you're having a fantastic week. Let me know where you're tuning in from, what you're doing, what you're drinking. I'm drinking a tea tonight out of my Forbes mug. Because I'm in investigative mode, because we're going to go over some tinfoil hat stuff. And that's fun. That's fun in a market like this. I know it is. But I'm going to answer all of your burning questions today with Rob. So I'm also going to retweet this on X. Guys, if you're watching, please do share the X post, because for some reason, X is having trouble with live streams. And also smash a like, hit the subscribe, and do share this with everybody, guys. We are very, very, very close to our website going live for the Hive and adding a lot of new members. Only you have a few more days left to get in for free. literally until the end of this month. So do it. Get in for free. The link's in the description below. You'll be taken to the Hive VIP Telegram group where we have all of Rob's VIP signals and charts and things that we're watching and actively working together as a community to absolutely crush it. And we have been doing that. We have a lot of wins to show you yet again, which we're so proud of. We're so proud of the Hive. But so on that note, guys, I'm going to pull up some of the main news on Jane Street. Okay. Oops, I have the video here. So this is what everybody's talking about, right? This is extremely bearish for crypto as a whole. It essentially exposes how the scarcity of Bitcoin doesn't really matter with the amount of derivatives that can be stacked up. I think this makes the case for the Clarity Act even more apparent, assuming it includes safeguards for these kinds of things. So Rob and I have been talking back show on backstream about what this could imply and how that bullish catalyst could really, really set this market on fire when it comes out, the Clarity Act, if it does put some sort of guardrails on this. So everybody's talking about this, the 10 a.m. drop, how Jane Street broke Bitcoin's price by dumping constantly every single day in coordination with other market makers at 10 a.m. But the real allegation is that they were behind the whole depegging of the Terra Luna coin and that they were the reason why it crashed. And that's why they're being sued. So on the other hand, people are also looking at this 10 a.m. dump time where allegedly they've been dumping Bitcoin onto the market and suppressing the price. So this is basically what all the talk is about. I have another story here. What actually happened? So there's stuff going on in India as well. SEBI temporarily barred Jane Street in July 2025 for allegedly manipulating the bank Nifty index on expiry days across 18 different sessions. So SEBI accused Jane Street of using complex algorithmic strategies to distort index levels. So Jane Street, of course, denied it. The firm was not expelled from India. It regained market access. So this is all alleged, right? And this is all stuff that's going around. But basically, people are like, I know that I've talked about this with Rob, and Rob brought it up a little while ago. And he's, we've been having this conversation ever since. How do derivatives actually affect the market? Can they suppress the price? And I think the answer is most definitely clearly yes. I mean, look at silver and gold, they're scarce assets, right? And they have all of the different properties, and yet silver price has seemingly been manipulated for a very long time until it suddenly popped. So what is the reasoning behind that? Is that same thing going to happen now with Bitcoin as the major hedge funds and Wall Street gets access to it? Essentially, when you can paper trade things, the cap doesn't matter when it comes to the price on the open market, right? Because it can be manipulated by that. Now, the hard cap still remains, and it is still a very scarce asset. But it, to me, just says that this price can be manipulated if there's not a lot of safeguards in place for it. But on the other hand, we have another theory on that manipulation. So, I'm not going to go over much more. I will just say, too, though, this is kind of like the whole cleansing period, right? So on the note of derivatives, Binance just surpassed 70 billion in commodity trading volume after launching gold and silver. So what happened after commodity trading? So futures arrived for gold and silver on crypto exchanges. We saw massive dumps. Okay. So the nature of futures and derivatives is much different than actually trading the asset on the open market, right? So there's something going on there, which we're going to discuss. Also, Senator Elizabeth Warren herself calls to pass calls to pass a bill banning insider trading and prohibit Congress from owning stocks. Interesting indeed. So it's sort of a cleansing period, guys. It's a cleansing period where we need to figure out what are the rules to this wild, wild west we love to call crypto, and will that make it a better place? And that is the absolute goal at the end of the day, right? Will that make this more sustainable, safer for new people to join, and just sort of do away with the shenanigans? And I will say, bear markets, the famous old time, like Warren Buffett quote, it is so true. When the tide, I'm forgetting how it is exactly now, but when the tide washes away, you basically discover who's been swimming nude, right? It's something like that. Please correct me in the comments if you know what I'm trying to say. But basically, bear markets expose cracks and leaks and things that are faulty in the system, bad actors like Sam Bankman-Fried, who allegedly did work for Jane Street back in the day. And they sort of wash away the riffraff. So bear markets are essential, actually, for the health of a normal market, in my opinion. And we just need to strategically ride that wave. So on that note, I'm going to pull Rob up, and we're going to get his opinion on Jane Street. What's up, Rob? How's it going? How you doing today?
Too much. Just had another piece of news hit my feed here. I'm trying to check into while you were talking. It's Trump, Jane Street. So now Trump's getting involved, supposedly.
Oh, okay. So what's going on there?
I am trying to check stuff right now, but right now it says Trump versus James Street. Trump media accuses James Street of naked short selling. In a letter to Congress, the company called for investigation into James Street and others. James Street is also accused of the Terra Luna, and I'm reading into it right now, so I'm just trying to get more information on it as of right now. But yeah, so
right,
now,
I see that.
yeah, and something about also too Elon Musk versus James Street now. This
Wow.
is getting wild. Elon on Tesla shorts. If they don't exit before Tesla reaches autonomy at scale, they will be obliterated. Tesla later. So now it just seems like there's going down even a bigger rabbit hole than just crypto with this one exchange. So
Yeah, that's actually interesting. That's big news. Trump,
this one big market maker, we'll have to say. They said there was 4 of them, so this is
right.
one of the big 4s. I'm gonna sit there and call it.
Oh, yeah, that's nothing to mess around with, guys, and that is actually really truly telling that Trump is now getting involved in this. This seems to be a little bit bigger of a story now as the news is breaking, rather than just an isolated incident to Terra Luna. And if that is the case, well, then this is going to be a pretty juicy, next month or so. And also, guys, so you know how we love a good thesis. We're going to try to connect the dots a little bit, do a little predictive analysis, like Rob calls it. Okay. So Trump is getting involved. This to me sort of feels like the Sam Bankman-Fried moment when the bell and whistle sort of got sounded on FTX, and everybody started to be like, oh, but what about the other exchanges? Are they okay? And this may or may not be one of those moments, right? Like right before we get a bigger leg down of allegations of fraud and manipulation and mismanagement, things like that. Who knows? However, I will say that the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, the other day came out and said that he believes the Clarity Act will be passed by April. And Brad Garlinghouse is very much within the inner circle of the Trump administration and of everything that is happening. So that sort of does line up with the timeline we've discussed on this channel, right, Rob?
Yes, so we went over the 3-day death cross chart. So that there is about 30 days, 40 days or so between that time frame. Typically, you hit a Bitcoin bottom, not bear market end, but Bitcoin bottom, and that's whenever we usually get our last leg as well too. And that lines right up the Clarity Act. So like I'm not sure what's going to be all in this Clarity Act. So I have to sit there and I don't think we all know yet. But if it has something about these institutions not being able to do certain things with derivatives like they are doing right now, that can put a big stop to what's going on with all this stuff and make it like, all right, maybe, I hate to say it, maybe next cycle is our super cycle, or do we just keep going with 4-year cycles? And is that all the cycles is going to be repeated the same, close to the same, whatever it is. But apparently, as of right now, 4-year cycle stands strong. It's holding strong. Everything's happening same strong. And if you go into those allocations against Jane Street, they started doing the short selling, the drops of during I think if I recall correctly, was it October or November, right when the bull market ended, like with the 4-year cycle. So timing of that was pretty incredible to me. I'm like, so they just fall in the 4-year cycles in my mindset a little bit, but
right. And we did discuss how the stock market essentially has a 4-year cycle baked in, right? Like, so, there's a lot of things going on right now that we need to investigate. But so I don't know, it is something to think about, and derivatives have truly changed this market as we know it. And we just did see that too, with gold and silver being added to crypto exchanges as well, right? Like it was sort of like a post like, welcome gold and silver traders. All the degens are now part of your daily life.
Yeah, so derivatives work in a complete different way. Like it's just something that I think we talked about it on why this market wasn't the same on that episode, that we talked a little bit about derivatives and how it affected the market, how it made it feel different, how it made it kind of a little bit different. I think we talked about on that episode there. I'm like, I can't remember how deep because I was still just trying to just get the concept of how it changes stuff. But my idea was I know that's how JP Morgan, all the big banks, how they manipulate gold and silver is by using derivatives. How they exactly do it in detail, I don't know how. I just know that's what they use to help suppress the prices and do whatever they do is. And now that we have it in crypto, it's like, all right, why wouldn't they do the same type of thing, or why wouldn't somebody do the same type of thing? Was always my thought process. So are we getting some of that right now? And is that a good thing or a bad thing with the market? Like I'm 50-50 on it. Like all right, we need trading. Like right now, I my basis of income is off of basically trading. I get in, I get out, I make money off trading. You need market makers. You need some of that to be able to get orders filled, or get orders in, get orders out, and that's part of the whole process of the market going up and down, creating cycles, and for us to be able to create great wealth. If it just went straight up and you just bought, went straight up, and everybody's got rich, I mean, I don't think we have much of a society, and then nothing will be worth, like, then something that goes up really high in price wouldn't be worth anything because then everybody has it. It wouldn't be very good in my opinion. But with this
Right.
whole,
It's an interesting way.
yeah, so I just have a weird little bit of a way, like, so I mean, long term, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin's breaking, but again, is this like, do we finally have the narrative for this bear market? Finally, like, there's no narrative for the bear market. Well, do we finally have it? Is the question. And while the narrative is coming out, are we going to be getting our last leg down whenever we're just sitting there getting? Is this going to be the like? Is this going to be the narrative that pushes forward? Like when we say we get our next leg down, that does happen with the 3-day death cross. We'll also go over the Guppy chart as well too. Why we're pulling up where it's showing the same thing and some other ideas in that one. Do we get that last leg down? And is the bear market getting close to being over? Why the news freshly out, getting everybody real bearish, and people are going to start saying we're going to be seeing 30K BTC, 25K, $20,000 Bitcoin, and you're going to be waiting to buy that dip? Or are you going to sit there and go like, all right, we were prepared for this dip to kind of happen. We're prepared for the next leg down. The next leg down is going to happen. We're going to be looking to buy into this next dip because the charts show that this is potentially the next dip that you do want. Like, I never really say buy the dip, but the charts show this next dip coming up, if we do get one more major leg down, is the one that you want to buy. And is the problem with this all is whenever this does happen, are you going to be able mentally to do it? Because now we got some news coming out. Maybe markets are manipulated by these big hedge funds. The derivatives makes it have a no. You read that thing. Now with derivatives, there is no hard cap on Bitcoin. There's unlimited amounts supposedly on paper, and it could do whatever they want. Is that going to be scaring you out of your plan? So it can't scare me out of what I'm holding because I'm technically holding nothing. But I do have a plan to buy on this next leg down if we do get it. I am going to be buying Bitcoin and some other altcoins that we'll be posting in group as well too. I am going to be buying a dip. Is it going to shake me out of my plans? My question, am I going to be able to operate, or am I going to stick with the charts, stick with the plan, and stick with the cycles is more of the question I think people should be asking themselves.
I like that. And I really like what the show brings in terms of, keeping people level-headed, grounded, and just looking at the facts, because it is so easy to get lost in all the FUD. I've been around for many cycles and I've seen FUD at every market cycle bottom. And it's always a different narrative. And it's almost as if the fact that there was no news to pinpoint for this bear market is driving people insane, right? So narratives get spun up on a dime, and people start to spiral, and they get shaken out of their thoughts, they get shaken out of their positions, and it's just like one topple after the next. So will you be able to, with the knowledge you have, even from just this show, if you're just tuning into this show, will you be able to follow the plan and potentially, change your life forever, right? If you get in now and you understand the rules now, and you're able to ride the wave both up and down. That is the question. So I really like that, Rob. I like the way that you're framing that. And potentially now that predictive analysis, if we get that last leg down between now and April, and then or before April when the Clarity Act comes, supposedly, if that is the timeline, and then we get the sell in May, go away sort of situation, and then we reassess at the end of the year.
Yep. I mean, the sell in May. So sell in May doesn't always mean like short or something like that. So sometimes what it means is just boring price action accumulation throughout summer. So there's sometimes it's really boring price action where it's like, is it worth trading my time to sit there and trade during that time, or do I trade less during that time? Just more, and I go enjoy my time with my family more at that time. You know what I mean? So sell in May sometimes does mean that one there. So it's like maybe just trade during market open, trade once or twice a day, and then get out and just go enjoy your life.
Right. Yeah. And it seems like now more than ever, that is the way that it'll trend, because big market makers, big hedge funds, stock people, they like close up shop a lot of times during the summer, right? Blackout months. It's not like the 24/7 crypto degens. It's a different ballgame now. And I think it might even resemble that more than previous cycles.
Yep. There's more money to be doing that. So more money's going to follow it. So we'll definitely have to be keeping track of that. Market open, stuff like that, or stock market open, but also too, they're doing away the CME. I've heard, I was reading as well too. So there's going to be a lot of changes, like no more gaps. So people trade, no more gaps. Okay.
No more gap traders.
So no more gap traders. That's going to be gone potentially. So there's going to be a lot of things.
Things are changing at the speed of light. And we were also discussing trading against AI and how that might look. And people are afraid of that. But you've got another theory, and that is,
I mean, AI, whenever that comes out, they're going to be traded off of algorithms and they're going to be traded off a system. And if there's a system there, you can figure out that system, either trade with it or you can figure out a trade against it and make more money off of it. I mean, that's how I basically think of already whenever I trade. I'm like, all right, you're either trading against one of two things. One, you're trading against it's player versus player. You're trading against other people's emotions, right? Or two, you're trading with market makers or against market makers, learning their systems and learn how to extract money out of their system as well too. So they're more algorithmic. They have more rule based, and I think it's easier to trade against market makers than it is against people because people are more kind of wild cardish whenever it comes to their emotions, their fear and greed. Mm-hmm. And I think it's easier to trade against market makers, in my opinion. So that's a lot of that is based off, in my opinion. So if AI comes out, which also, to a little sneak peek, we are working on an AI division in our group as well too for the future. Right. So we are being prepared for the AI. We are going to get prepared for the AI boom and trading as well too, because I believe there is going to be an AI trading boom, and we're going to navigate how to do that perfectly. Because one, I don't think the human touch is never going away, but I think there is going to have to be some sort of AI introduced into our group as well too. So we are working on that in the background as well too. So you heard it here. So be ready for that later on. But anyway, going back to that, I also believe that AI is going to be based off of algorithms, and whenever there's a system in place, look at what's happening now with Jane Street, with what happened in India. Like they did an algorithm system and they figured out a weak spot to take money out. If they are doing the manipulation in Bitcoin right now, it's down at 10 o'clock. There's weakness in order books at that time because the market open, market closes of certain things all going on at the time. Guess what? They found an algorithm and they probably used AI to help them to figure that out. Boom. And they took weakness out of that. You know what I mean? So, and again, is that it, and if you sat there and caught onto that trend that they were doing at 10 o'clock and you're like, wait a second, this is dumping every day at 10 o'clock, 3%, and you're putting on a 20x leverage short with $20,000, you're making some bank money there. Right. So,
right. Which is contrary to what most people think, that market maker is the enemy and that they're the ones that are taking money. But if you're saying if you learn the rules of the game, that potentially you trade with the big whales, right?
Learn the rules. Market makers have rules. So if you learn the rules, you can trade with them. You can trade against, or you can even trade against them, but in a different way to make money, where it's about just pulling your pie out, your section of the pie out. A market's just a big pie with a bunch of money in there, and there's a slice in there for you. You just got to learn how to get it, learn the rules, and get in and get it. Get in and get out and get it.
I like it. So on that note, what do you say we dig into the charts and see what's happening with Bitcoin today?
Yep. All right. So I already have I was looking at the Bitcoin 4-hour chart before we started the show here. So right here, the top line right here, we have that bearish pendant that we came all the way, that we broke down, that we were just doing really good on our shorts. We kind of came back up, bearishly retested it. We looked at right here, we looked like we bearishly retested, and then it just popped. And that was during the whole thing yesterday. And we had some shorts going on in the group where they got stopped out as well too. And you look at it, kind of came back up in the pattern, got up to the top trend line, and now we lost that pattern again. So I was looking at this trend right here that we possibly made. Are we bullishly retesting this trend or bearishly retesting this trend again? And we're having some kind of fake out with all the news that came out. It's a very, very hard time in the low time frame to sit there and make an ideal plan. So the one thing that we're looking at today is, are we going to hold today and bounce off and start trending up off the 1-day 79? We did break it yesterday with this big candle here right here. So we got to sit there and see if we hold this 1-day 9 and not play dancing queen on it. So I'm using the 4-hour chart right now. I want to see if we can hold this trend line right here and hold the 4-hour SMA 50. So we lost the 4-hour 9 already. I'm looking at the oscillators. They aren't even down yet. So we're not down oversold or anything like that. The stock chart is pointing down. So it's telling me that we might go back in. We might just go back into this pattern right here. And that's what that's kind of telling me right now. So right now, key level for me is the 4-hour SMA 50. For me to start getting bullish and start getting back into the market for longs, is we need to get above that SMA 9. So right now we're pinned between both. One of them going to break at one direction at some point here. So I think it's going to be very, very, it's going to be very, not tricky, but just patience to get the right direction to trade in. For me, I'm very big with trading with the trend. And if this was just some kind of suckers rally that's already over, I don't want to sit there and start trading long now and then I'll be a sucker because I jumped in the suckers rally.
Right. You don't want to be a sucker, guys. You don't want to be a sucker. You want to trade with the trend or just wait for confirmation. Patience is so critical during these times where, we're sort of just waiting for the confirmation of the direction, right?
Yeah, very, very important. I think I posted something in the Hive today. I was looking at some longs and they got to it. And like I said, I'm not taking the trades, and I posted this afterwards. Like, making zero on a day is better than losing $1,000. Like,
Yes, I love that. I love
zero
that.
gain day is also a good day in trading. Trust me.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Absolutely. You need to be able to protect your capital during times like this. You don't always need to be in a trade. And that's, where the ethics of the groups comes into play too. We don't always want you to take trades. Rob is always keeping us updated on, his thoughts, his analysis in real time in the group. To help you navigate this better, even the tricky days like this. So you guys, if you're listening, if you're just tuning in now, if you're on X, the link is in my bio. Okay, that'll take you to our verification channel, support channel, where then you'll click on the bot and you'll sign up for BYDFI with no KYC necessary, just your Gmail. And then you'll copy and paste your user ID and you'll be in the group for free only until the end of the month. And we'll give you a $100 bonus for depositing any amount. $5, $10, doesn't matter. If you guys have been lingering, lurking in the background, that's all good. But today is the day, okay? It's time to level up your skills where you still can and take advantage of our free gift to you. So if you're having trouble getting in the group, please do DM us in the verification group. You can write right there in a group or DM us personally. And guys, you got to get in. Look at this. Look at where we're. We're right there. We're right there. I've been talking about this 3-day death cross. We're so close, Rob. Like, when is this potentially going to happen?
So right now, like last episode, I believe we talked about how much this has been moving down with the momentum it has. It's been moving down on average $1,000 per candle close for the last couple of weeks here. So the last, say 2 weeks or so, I would say on that. So that's a very, very big deal that we're looking at right now, because today is a close in 3 hours and 47 seconds. We will get a candle close on that in here, and we're going to be looking for this to drop down again. And right now, the SMA 50 is at 92,098. The SMA 100 or 200, is at 91,151. So if it did drop exactly $1,000, we would have the death cross. So that is going to be, we have potentially going to have this death cross today at candle close. Wow. And if that does, but if it's only a $500 drop, then we don't have it, and then we have to wait till next Sunday. So basically, the reason why this is so specific for me right now is because we went over in the last time on average 35, like between, I'd say 35 to 40 days after that cross is typically whenever the next, like, doesn't mean that it starts exactly for a down, the next leg down, but it is whenever the next leg down ends. So however that's going to look, if it's going to pump a little bit beforehand or something like that, we do get a suckers rally and then dump. We have 35, 40 days in order for that to kind of all play out. So we got some time for things to play out. But it is the time where we can start setting our timer, set the clocks like, all right, 35, 40 days. We're going to be looking for a potential bottom on Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying bear market end. Remember that and went over that last time. But a potential Bitcoin bottom price.
Right. Which is crucial, right? And Rob has been saying that if that potential next drop does come, it would most likely be the best historical time to buy. So, we've seen instances where we've dumped directly on the death cross, and we've seen other instances where we've sort of flagged out for a little while and then had another leg down. So time will tell what this will do. But guys, at this case, it's pretty much imminent unless we have one massive rally, which is not looking likely right now.
Yeah, it's getting so close to a time where it's like doesn't really happen as much as we thought. So now we're going to go into another chart that kind of just aligns with that as well too. Pretty similarly. All right. So this is the 13-day guppy chart here. And you can see how it's on a bull run, it's green, then it flips gray. And that here also aligns with, so if you look at it, when it flips gray on the 13-day time frame, that also aligns with the last time starting the last drop in the bear market as well too. Like it did in this one right over here. Over here, we had our last drop. So you look at it, flip gray, then we went into our last down leg onto Bitcoin. Flip gray, last down leg on Bitcoin. Over here, let's make another line. It flipped gray right here. Last leg, basically we started our last legs down on Bitcoin. And what just happened? We just flipped gray last candle. So we're starting our last, so that's telling us we're starting our last leg down on Bitcoin.
Interesting. So this is really interesting information. And a lot of times the last leg down and the lowest price ever, right? Before the next cycle. So that's really telling, guys. That's, to me, is saying if history has anything to do with this and it rhymes, then we could very well be very close to a bottoming price for Bitcoin, for definitely for this cycle and potentially for the rest of the cycles to come based on history. So this is going to be historically now a very, very important level to pay attention to and potentially buy into. So can we get any idea for how long that sort of like first crash comes in, or how long that consolidation lasts?
For down in here, like after the crash or before, like how long the crash
Right.
is?
So it looks like right when you turn gray here on that particular example we're looking at there, it crashed pretty immediately.
Yeah, so it was so these are hang on. Yeah, you can have one, buddy. Buddy, have
Kids
one.
are negotiating time.
Yep. No, said one. One. Go.
Negotiation 101, guys.
All right. So basically right here, we had one candle here, 2, 3. So what's that? So it's 13 day. So it's a 13-day candle. So each candle represents 13 days. So 10, 20, 30, 36, about 42 days. So right there, market bottom, that right there aligns with the 3-day death cross on how long it usually kind of works out here. This one here, 3, no. 1, 2, 3. So right here, you're looking at 3 to 4 candles as well too. Same thing. So about 42 days or so.
Wow. So potentially, guys, this is huge for all of you listening. This guppy just turned gray, the 13-day on the 13-day chart, and we could potentially be seeing the quintessential bottom for Bitcoin within the next 40 days. That's it. Finito, right? Like we are potentially going to see a bottom for Bitcoin in the next 40 days. What will you do with this information? How will you act on this? I mean, this is big, right? Like we have a blueprint here. And a lot of most people are just sort of feeling around in the dark. Like, I don't know what's going on. Bitcoin's dying, peak FUD. And when these dumps happen, I guarantee you there will be so many people talking about how much lower it's going to go every single time, like clockwork.
Oh yeah, people are gonna be sitting there. They're gonna be giving all kinds of prices, but like I said, I never really like giving price predictions like very much, just because I would rather look for the like everybody's always pretty much close to being wrong, or you get a number stuck in your head. You're not able to act because it hasn't hit the number that you believe or that you were told to believe that it should go to. If somebody's telling you it should go to 30, you're going to be waiting for that 30K level. And then if it starts kind of going upwards afterwards, like, no, it's going to come back down and go to 30K. Like say it only hits 40K or 35K or 47K or 50K, and it starts going up and starts going to a bull market, and you're still waiting for that 30K. It's kind of like the 15K people said, no way, I'm buying at 10K or under 10K, and it never came. They're still waiting. You kind of miss out. So the signals, I think, are way better to go off of than sitting there and trying to predict the price. Because I think if, in my opinion, I know for me personally, if you get stuck on a number, you don't want to do anything until that number hits, and you want to act on that number. And instead of acting on a signal as saying whatever the price is at during this time is whenever you act.
Right. So, I mean, this is super powerful, guys. This is the only blueprint you potentially need, apart from that 3-day death cross that could be happening as fast as today, within 3 hours and change from right now, from the time that you're watching this. So, guys, if you're watching this, like after the fact, you might already be there. Look at the 3-day death cross. And if you don't have to if you're in the hive, because we're going to be updating you on that in real time in the group. So you've got to join the hive. You've got to get in the hive, guys, our VIP trading group on Telegram. The link's in the description below. If you're on X, it's in my bio. Go there. It's going to take you literally 5 minutes, and you're going to be in one of the biggest alpha groups on the internet. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, because I don't see other people doing this kind of analysis. It's like, do you want to know before everybody knows, or do you want to be part of the herd? That's basically how I see it. Do you want to learn how to play chess? You want to learn from one of the biggest goats in the industry? Guys, you have a great mentor here who's literally helping you through this, and will make sure that you get better as a trader. You've got to learn these skills. And if not only for trading, also for investing, because this is literally helping you map out the best times to buy long-term as well. Right. So, yeah, Mark, welcome to the show. He said, Rob just outlined exactly what I did wrong last bear market. I was waiting on a number which never came. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I did the same thing too. So I had to make a new plan. So you're not the only one. The reason I know people do it is because I did it. You put a number in your head, then you just know that you're like, it has to hit that number or I can't buy. It's like, how about just wait for a signal? Like whatever the number ends up being, it ends up being. And you might get a little bit, no, it might be, and that's why during that time, you have to have like more of a scale in system, because it could go a little bit lower, could go a little bit higher during that time. Like last time, if we would have did this last time and bought around this time, you could have bought right here at about $18,000. And if you started scaling in, like, oh, got another dip, and you could have scaled in around $16,000 and then went up. You know what I mean? And at that time, it gets up to $200,000. You wouldn't have cared about that if you didn't get the perfect bottom, because you got the perfect scale and you timed it basically perfect. So I think timing is kind of key whenever you're using the 4-year cycles, which I just have up right here as well too. And I will be keeping this updated once we can start getting our 4-year cycle dots on here for DCA, which is 135 weeks or whatever. I think that's post halving. But if you look at it, like, these are all kind of basically lining up here, which the craziest part right now is April, May. Like, this might be like the earliest we get so if everything rhymes true, this might be the earliest we get Bitcoin bottom. So it's telling me that we might do like a more of a flat. So if this all becomes true again, this might become more of a flat accumulation throughout summer. You know what I mean? Or else we get some kind of bounce during this time. We kind of run up and then kind of come back down. But I was just looking at the Guppy chart here. I want to do a weekly analysis on as well too. And usually the best time to buy is when this turns blue as well too in the weekly time frame to start scaling in. Why it's blue is usually your best, is your close to best, and then you're like the best of the best is whenever it turns red. Like, okay, so like right here, blue gave you the bottom, but red like your last chance. Blue gave you like it got really good, then red gave you the best time to start buying. And we also just turned blue on the Guppy in the weekly.
Oh, interesting. So we are making momentum and progress already on the weekly, even though the 13-day seems to just be getting started.
Yep. So it's why you need multiple charts. You don't go everything based off one chart. You use multiple confluences. We're not just giving you one data point. We're giving you multiple data points to sit there to show what the charts are telling us. I don't want to sit there and say my ideas. It's just what the charts are showing us and how to navigate it with these signals here. Because if you sit there and say, all right, 3-day death cross, 49 days buy, okay, but what other confluences do we have? All right, we've got the 13-day Guppy, we got the halving cycle here, we got, you know what I mean? So there's just a lot of different things.
Right. Yeah. So these are the sort of charts we're looking at. Actually, yesterday or the day before yesterday, we discussed also buying when the RSI bottoms out on a certain pattern we're looking at and not even paying attention to the price. That's how you avoid price confirmation bias, right? Or that price in your head, like you're talking about, Mark. You wait for the signals that Rob is talking about. This is exactly the chart. This is exactly what I was referencing.
Yep. So yeah, I have this one here. So this is one of my cycle bottom, cycle top charts. I just always keep an eye on, because if it does get all the way down there, like my thing is like if it gets all the way down to here, I want to buy. If it gets all the way up to this red trend line right here, this is a new trend line on here. So we got to see how we react when we get up to it. When we get all the way to the top, I want to sell.
Right. And so that's another thing, is that you don't know what price it's going to be when it hits the bottom of that trend line. So whatever that price may be is your sort of signal to be like, hey, and we're about to get another close here, another move at the end of this month. So let's see where we land at the end of February, right? And then reassess. But that's another point of confluence that's really, really cool, right? And yeah.
We're going to be most likely ending the month in red from what it looks like right now, unless something major happens in the next couple of days. We'll find out. But if we end in the red, there's a high probability that the momentum is still a downward side and the RSI goes down more. So right there is basically telling you that, hey, the RSI is going to be going down there. Once the RSI goes down next month, if it flat lines down there, kind of like, all right, so here was June of 2022, hit it and kind of flatlined. And that, if you sit there and, yeah, every time that was pretty much our local bottom. So there's another data point right there. I can sit there and just mark them real quick. So right here.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Double bottom on it last cycle. So you have two. So you hit it once, double bottom on it. Then you have 2 chances to buy basically, or that could be your scalping ID as well too, if it happens, because you don't know if that's going to happen the same way. But anyway, bottom right there, bottom touch. So this one's kind of too new, but I guess it works. Yeah. So this one right here. So yeah, we're coming into like an area where it's sitting there saying, okay, it's getting close to, like I said, I don't really say buy the dip very much, but it's getting close to that buy the dip time, and be ready for it. Because whatever narratives, if it's a narrative, I think it's going to be kind of scary for Bitcoin, because people sit there and say, oh, the whole thing, like my idea is everyone's sitting there, Bitcoin's going to be, is no longer this and blah, blah, blah. And then Boom, it goes up. Oh, we told you, we fixed the problem. The Clarity Act says this, and the market makers aren't allowed to do that anymore in crypto. So there's no more worry of that one. Boom, and then all the fear's gone.
Right. When really, we already see this coming on the charts. And this is what I'm talking about, playing chess, right? Whatever the narrative may be, we already see it coming from miles away. And look at that $47,000 price. There's a lot of confluence around that price too. It's really interesting.
Yeah, so $47,000 is one of those key areas that I'm looking to. If we get down to that area, and this is all I'm getting all my signals, and that's me a key level to start looking to scale in at. Just we had a chart on that one episode. I can't remember what it was called, but there was a certain line that kind of just every time it hit that line, it was market cycle bottom. So it was a very important line. We got it off of I think Bitcoin Magazine or something. We saw it in there.
And the fib, we mapped out the fib levels. There were multiple charts pointing to that $47,000 level. I can't remember the exact charts we used at the time, but very interesting stuff, guys. If I find it quickly, I'll put it up. But lots of confluence around that $47,000 level. That's for sure.
Yes.
So, interesting times indeed. So this is basically the blueprint. This is basically it. And again, you might be wondering, what about the altcoins? Well, don't worry about the altcoins until we figure out what's happening with Bitcoin, is basically what we're saying. We're trying to choose a direction here. And the altcoins have more or less been holding up. I mean, they're already beaten down so hard, but don't let that fool you. They can still have another leg down. Okay. So we're just trying to sort of prepare for that next leg down, and how far down.
You can look at Bitcoin dominance a little bit if you guys want to. I have no problem with that, because I was actually looking at that earlier.
Yeah, let's have a look.
So if people were asking about a little bit of that, and then Bitcoin dominance usually dictates the alt market. So this is the part that I'm kind of playing with a little bit. You're starting to see like there's two patterns that I am seeing here. Let's just go in here. One, we either have, let me go ahead and get a drilling tool here. We have a shorter head, shorter, and this shorter here is kind of very long extended out. And I also put this trend line on from right here, not just using the neckline here, because this also shows a inverse bump and run type deal, where this is your bump right here, and then your run, and then once a run goes to the downside, and you kind of bearishly retest, and it has a big drop down. So we have a potential bump and run or a head and shoulders at play here. I'm not sure which one, but they both are bearish patterns. So that is something there. If Bitcoin bottoms out in the next month, and Bitcoin, this is where it's starting to get kind of interesting to me, where we start kind of paying attention to this one here, because this is going to be the first time that Bitcoin, I'm going to sit there and do a little bit of math on this one here, but I think this is going to be the first time that Bitcoin bottoms out. If it does bottom out like we're planning on, why the highs are basically still in on Bitcoin dominance. What if next bull run Bitcoin dominance is dropping while Bitcoin's running, or Bitcoin runs slowly? Is that going to actually give us a chance for some sort of a different kind of alt plays, unlike last time? And with all this manipulation stuff coming to fruition supposedly and being out there, and the idea of the Clarity Act taking that out, is that going to allow altcoins to run? And for something like that, some type of move like that one here. So I think it's going to be very key watching to see if Bitcoin, whenever Bitcoin does bottom out, if this continues going up, or if this bearish pattern starts playing out and goes down while Bitcoin runs. So this could be a very unique cycle, in my opinion, that we're going to be going into with altcoins.
Oh yeah, that would be juicy. A massive altcoin run, just because we just haven't had anything in altcoins, basically. I mean, we've had many runs here and there, but I mean, it's been very highly disappointing for a lot of people. But again, I'll say, there's a lot of altcoin ETFs coming out, and institutions are starting to accumulate certain altcoins, and I just don't see them not running in sometime in the near future, right? So like this chart could potentially say maybe we're gearing up for something like that. It's really interesting.
It looks very bearish to me. Like if I was going to be I like looking at it like, am I going to short or long this token? Like I look at it as any trade. This is a short. Like right now, we broke this trend line. We're breaking this trend line, whatever way I can make the trend line. I made it multiple ways before the show. So just however you make the trend line, it's breaking right now, and we got a lower high on it. Now it's moving around on me, and that's a bear signal. And right there, I'll look for a short. And where would I be shorting to? I usually make my trades pretty simple. I'll probably short it all the way down to 0.5 fib, 0.6. And I think one of the key levels is going to be 0.5 here. If this does break and get all the way down here, I think one of the key levels for altcoins and Bitcoin dominance is the 50% level, because that means more than half the money is going into altcoins after that, and that's going to be a very big high-telling tale. Now, what if this does break down and keeps going down and altcoins don't run? Because I mean, we can kind of look at it. It has been going down in altcoins. It has been going down since June of 2025, and altcoins have not been running. What do we look at in order to determine that scenario keeps kind of playing out? That's whenever you got to go to the USD dominance charts, and we got to sit there and look at this chart and keep a strong eye on this chart here. We're at the all-time highs basically on you. This is the dominance of USDT. So we're either going to break into all-time highs and hold it, or we're going to get rejected and form some sort of top here. So if we form a top here, or I'm going to sit there and say that's going to be bullish for altcoins, we're going to get ready to get going and get repping if Bitcoin dominance drops down. Now, if it starts breaking the all-time highs, that's telling me that just money's flowing into stable coins more than ever, because we're going to break out and potentially get up to the next fib level, which is 11.4%. Then the next ones after that is the 15.22%. So we start getting up those levels there. That's going to make the altcoins go down a lot stronger, and Bitcoin as well too. That's going to correlate with the potential crash that we're having on it. So we're going to have to be very careful on the. You have to watch all these charts kind of in sync to see what direction things are going.
Wow. Yeah, really interesting. I mean, this is sort of like, giving us clues as to what's going to happen next. All of these different points of confluence, outlining like this is what could be happening. Be prepared, right? Be prepared. But on the other hand, we've got Bitcoin dominance telling another story that's kind of like, okay, could this be altcoins time to run in the near future, right? So a lot of interesting signs.
Very, very interesting signs. And like what I'm looking at right now, so I just zoomed up to the 4-hour chart too. Like this here, if you were a trader, you probably already see it. These flags right here, very, very big flags. And we can go into, and I don't know where my drawing tool is at. Is this one right here? I would just do this one. You can kind of see how it's making a parabolic curve right here in a way. So base 1, base 2, are we getting the parabolic curve in this area right now on this right here, which that doesn't sound very good for the market. And that kind of goes with some other art charts as well too, of the others going down, then making a big round the bottom if this goes parabolic. But the one thing about a parabolic move, it has a blow off top. So if this is making a parabolic move, we're going to get a blow off top on it, and that's going to make a good juicy start for the next market, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I like this theory, and it did remind me of the chart we showed. The mother of all altcoin charts. If you want to see it, you've got to get into the group or go back and watch that episode where we kind of discussed a massive another leg down for others, which is sort of the high risk ones, right? Like everyone outside of the top 10, I believe.
Yes.
So that would scare a lot of people and make people think that, maybe crypto's dead, as it always does. Right. So that would be the mother of all opportunities, guys. The goal is not to scare you on this episode, nor shake you out of your plan. It's to get you prepared for the potentially opportunity of a lifetime. That's how I'm seeing this. And that's how I'm playing it.
That's how I'm playing it as well, too. It's how I look at it. There's always opportunities. And like, we're going to show this stuff, everything as we see it. We're not going to sit there and make it look shiny if it's not shiny at the time. If it looks like this is why we're going to do it, because the best thing is to get you guys prepared for it. Like, because you don't want to be unprepared. Like, you want to be prepared for both scenarios and what signals to look for. Because say this breaks down and bearishly retests this level right here, you know what? It might be time for things to run. And we're going to have to keep an eye on this as well, too. Because if that starts to happen, you know what? It's going to be time to run. It's going to be time to load up. And we're going to have to be most likely if this broke down, like if it went like this. Let me go ahead. If it came down underneath here, bears to retest and started downtrending, we're going to have to breakout trade. We're going to have to sit there and long and get in that way as well, too. It's why it's good to know multiple strategies and being ready for whatever happens. But if this breaks up and keeps going in the direction it's going, then we're going to continue shorting the market like we have been for the last few months, making bank most of the time on shorts. And we're going to have more capital to buy the dip whenever the dip is done.
That's right. That's right. So there is a way to play this that could set you up for a phenomenal future in crypto. It's a chance to get it right this time, for people like Mark who had, the courage to come out and say, hey, I didn't do this right last time. Now you can. Now you can have a better plan, and now you can strategically maneuver this bear market or the end of it. Guys, for those of you just tuning in, we literally went over a chart that shows you that Bitcoin could be hitting its ultra mega bottom for the next I don't know, forever, maybe within the next 40 days. That is not a long time to wait. So patience is key here. We are right there. Don't jump the gun. And don't be sucker into suckers rally, but pay attention with us. Join the group. Be in the know at every single second, guys, because there is no time to waste. Like, this is all unfolding right now, and these opportunities don't come around a lot, right? So now's the time.
Yeah, I'm excited for this next drop, and just be prepared for it. Like that's my thing. The more you know, the more you can be prepared for whatever happens, and that's the whole idea right now is being prepared. Like, we are still day trading the group. We are still making wins. Yesterday we got stopped out in some trades, and we're waiting right now for patterns to reform and reprint and to get back into trades, whatever direction is. We have both longs and shorts ready in case we do continue the suckers rally, as I'm calling it. And if we don't continue the suckers rally and the sucker rallies is over, then you know what? We get to jump back in our shorts. One of the two we're going to play out. We're going to go up or down. So be prepared for both and be ready. But again, the bigger macro cycle right now, it's pointing to get ready for buy the dip season.
Oh, yeah. Something's about to erupt, guys, and we are ready for it in the hive. We are ready to crush it, as always, as we have been. And guys, thank you for tuning in each and every single day. We really appreciate all your support. Please like, subscribe, share this, and most importantly, get in the group while it's still free. That's it. It's a no-brainer. If you have any troubles, feel free to DM us. We have a support channel there. And that's it. And guys, tomorrow is our Crypto and Cocktails edition, special edition, where we're going to have a look at that 3-day close, and we're going to let you in on some important updates in the group and potentially give you first access. So you do want to be there. It'll be at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. We want to see you there. And I think on that note, we're ready to wrap, right, Rob?
Yep. Nothing really much more to go on besides patience. And right now it just looks like Bitcoin is bearishly retesting the 4-hour SMA 9. So I might be getting ready for shorts again.
All right. So if you want to see some of those short setups, you've got to get in the group, guys, and make those juicy gains with us and get your $100 bonus. No brainer. No brainer. All right. So we want to see you tomorrow, Friday at 3:30 p.m. I will announce it in the morning, so you have plenty of time to get ready. Set your reminders. Choose your drink for the occasion. Doesn't matter if it's coffee, tea. We got you. You can also pull up with a cocktail, whatever floats your boat.
Moonshine.
Yeah, moonshine for Rob. Yeah, I think Cam, we haven't seen him in a while, but Cam loves the moonshine as well. So we're going to pull up. We're going to go over the 3-day death cross, see how that's been playing out and if it's happened. And big news on our group tomorrow, guys. So do tune in. We can't wait to see you tomorrow, and have a great rest of the day. Until tomorrow, guys.